Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is Ginseng Roots number 11 by Craig Thompson. This has been a really interesting comic series, kind of a little delayed, or a lot of gaps in between the final issues, and we just have one more issue to go. But it's been a really, really interesting one. So the concept is, as Craig Thompson is going through the history of ginseng and kind of how it's impacted his life. He grew up in Wisconsin, and where ginseng is like a really big deal, and he discusses like growing up on this farm, this ginseng community, the roots impact in the area, how it got there, the history, connection to like China and other Asian countries. And generally kind of it's been an interesting mix of like stories about Thompson's family and the history of ginseng. And this issue and the previous one, I don't remember if we went back to issue 10, but Thompson is now in China with his brother doing some research for this comic, and they're traveling around learning about ginseng in China. This issue has them going to the border with North Korea in northeast China, and this small kind of community that actually has a lot of in common, like economically and people-wise, where Thompson's grew up. And it's a really interesting issue in that it not only, kind of talks about ginseng in China. We learned that actually one of the hottest ginseng items in China, or at least in this area, is actually Wisconsin ginseng that they bring over the seeds and then grow it in Chinese soil. Where we kind of, it has Craig Thompson pondering, like, does that make it authentic? Is it kind of a knockoff? Like, what does authenticity mean in a global economy, global world? It's interesting, but I think where things get really interesting is how Thompson kind of intertwines the story with his own life. Like, this isn't just a kind of observation, it's really about him and his brother and his relationships. They have a translator, and they talk about relationships with siblings. This is kind of a turning point between Craig Thompson and his brother. His brother talks about how he's getting a divorce, and it's a really fascinating read. Like it's partially autobiography, partially kind of like a step away from biography. There's a historical aspect to it. It's really, really interesting, and I'm kind of fascinated to see where it winds up in the 12th issue, which should be the final issue. Tom says he doesn't know when it's going to be out, but a collected edition of the series, he said, would be out in 2025, he believes. So it's going to be a long way off if you haven't gotten the single issues. But his big, like, I don't think it's the strongest issue in the series, but it's really interesting in its scatteredness. Like you kind of get the sense that Thompson doesn't know where the story's going himself. And this issue, I think, is really kind of like a microcosm of that. Like, it just kind of goes with the flow, and it's a lot of thoughts and a lot of experiences all kind of brought together. So in that way, really, really interesting. The other is, like, the art continues to be absolutely fantastic. It's done in this black, white, and red look throughout, and tons of detail. And the amount of detail in this is completely insane. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautifully drawn, really fascinating comic. Very kind of honest and like raw at times. So yeah, I mean, there's, it continues to be, I think, a series that I'm, excited to read every single issue. I'm going to be kind of sad to see it go. But I want to see where it goes to. So you can go get this now. It is in comic shops. We have a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. Tell you have comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links most likely, so we get a small percentage by doing that. You'll support our site. And just watching our videos support us, so thank you for that. If you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, and Mastodon, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.